Kate, you want to say that in the microphone, Kayla? That's not really fair. We haven't even started yet. Okay. Now, the nice thing about working with subtracting integers is that we've done a lot of this stuff already. And we've set a lot of the groundwork when we talked about adding integers. So really, just kind of taking it to the next step really shouldn't be that much more difficult. In fact, a lot of students prefer taking a look at the subtracting integers because it's not as new, because we covered a lot of the stuff yesterday. So if we say 5 minus 3. Now, you didn't need to walk in here this morning to know the answer to this problem, hopefully. But if you take a look at this problem using your number line, it'll help illustrate what you're supposed to do. So this first integer, whether it be positive, whether it be negative, in this case it's positive, that always tells you where you're going to start. Where are you going to put your finger on the number line? Okay? Where are you going to direct your attention first of all? Now, once you get past that, and if you're lucky enough to only have one sign, like we do here, I know what direction I got to go to the left. And then how many places? 1, 2, 3 puts me at a 2. Okay? So it's a process that you've been doing forever without a number line. But when we start to get into it, just even having that number line handy that you used yesterday, it's going to help you a lot. Okay? Now, it's going to also enable us to look at problems like 7 minus 13, which up until today, maybe you'd say, you can't do that. You can't take away 13 if you only have 7. Well, you can if you unlock the negative side of your number line, absolutely. So, if I start my starting point, always start with that first digit. Start at the 7. I'm lucky enough, again, to just have that minus sign. I'm going to subtract 13. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 puts me at 6. Okay. And there's going to be a relationship between a lot of this stuff. When you look at the 6 and the 7, like when you put them together, using your number sense, you should be thinking somewhere around 13, right? Either 1 or 13, right? So, I mean, a lot of these are going to make sense. They should make some kind of sense to you. Where it might not make some sense to you is when you see something like 4 minus a negative 2. So if you think about it, the last two examples, we were taking away a positive. Now we're going to take away a negative. We took away a positive, we went to the left. If we take away a negative, we're going to go to the right. Essentially, what this means is this thing just turns into an addition problem. From your starting point, your 4. 4 plus 2, 6. Once you take away that debt, instead of adding it, so once you add the debt, like we talked about yesterday, it puts you behind, puts you in a hole. Once you take away that debt, you can almost look at that as profit. You're taking away your credit card debt. Wow. Would that be good? Yeah, there you go. Taking on the credit card debt, would that be good? No. So, something to think about. Plus, if you had these two problems, what do we have? 4. This is what we did for today. And we said it was just like subtracting. We would move that way. So why then if you're doing the opposite operation, would you move the same way? So no, you're going to go to the right. It's like adding. In other words, when you subtract a negative, you can just make both of those subtraction signs a positive. You're just adding a positive.
Easier than last time.
You have a backside of your worksheet. So take a peek at that. And just do 1 through 6. Just try 1 through 6 right now. 1 through 6. If you're done or not, let's take a look and focus on the front here. And take a look at what we should have been doing. First one, 4 minus 9. We're going to start where? At the 4. And go which direction? Left, 9 places. That's going to put us where? -5. Very good. Raise your hand if you had it. Awesome. Next one, -10 minus a -7. What are we going to do with these two minus signs, Mariah? Right? So essentially now what we're doing is this problem, -10 plus 7. So if I start at -10 and I add 7, where does it put me? -3. -17 means you subtracted it and went further away. 8 minus a -5. What's going to happen with these two that come right after each other? Plus, what is 8 plus 5? 13. -6 is where we're starting. We're going to subtract 12. We start at -6 and subtract 12. -18. Yeah.
Two negatives at the bottom.
Usually you can see by these parentheses. You know what I mean? Because you're trying to say, well, what am I supposed to do? You want to know one direction. Not the band. Okay? Not the band. Okay? I know you don't want to know one direction. I don't want to know one direction. But that's what you want to find out for your number line. Because you can't, like, what if there's two negatives? Are you going to go twice? What if there's a positive and a negative? You're going to go right and then left? No, you want to know just that one, direction. Okay? So here, a -3 minus a -11. So again, going to add that 11. Start at -3, add 11. Start at -3, add 11. So wait, if I started at +3, I'd have 14, but I'm at negative, so I'm going to take 3 of those in. And then here, these are going to turn into positives as well. 5 plus 9, 14. Anyone get all 6? 5 out of 6. 4 out of 6. Okay. Try the next 3. -8 minus 7. So starting at -8, and then 7, -15. Watch, this one here. The first integer is always your starting point. That's always where you're going to put your finger. So if I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, okay, this is -8 right here. Any confusion here about what direction I'm going? Do they give me a plus and a minus? Do they give me 2 minuses? Or is it just a minus? So just a minus, it's clear. I go to the left. Okay? So I'm going to tack on another 7 in this direction from the 8. That's going to put me at -15. Anyone get it? Don't think about like, oh, well, -15, that sounds like it's way too off. Like, There is no such thing. It's either right or it's wrong. 2 minus 6, starting at positive 2, subtracting 6, negative 4. Now here, with the starting point of negative 16, that doesn't change. But subtracting a negative 9 really means adding 9. So I'm going to come back 9 places this way from my negative 16. Three for 3. 2 for 3. 1 for 3. The collar. You took the collar. You went the wrong way 3 straight times. 10, 11, 12. Okay, so starting point is a positive 4. We're going to start off on the positive side. Subtracting a negative really means, so what's 4 plus 15? Negative 18, starting point. So you're way over here. Now you don't need, Edsel, Frank, you don't need a number line that goes all the way to like negative 50 to cover all these numbers. You just need an idea in your head. So if you know you're all the way over here at negative 18, and you're going to subtract 5, you're going to go 5 places even further out, where's that going to put you? Negative 23. And then here, negative 6 is your starting point, Frank. That's twice now. Turn around. Frank, turn around. Good. I know Liam's an interesting guy, but not right now. Negative 6 is my starting point. I'm going to subtract 6 more. Yes. Negative 12, not 0. Okay? So now you're good. Now you're 3 for 3. So 13 through 30 is your assignment.